Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2009 horror remake, Sorority Row. The film is directed by Stuart Hendler and it stars Brianna Evigan, Rumer Willis, Carrie Fisher, Terry Andres and Adam Barry. Right, this is a remake of the 1982 film, The House on Sorority Row, and it focuses on a group of sorority sisters who essentially pull a prank. The prank goes drastically wrong, and one of their sorority sisters gets killed in the process, and they essentially choose to cover it up. They end up chucking the dead body down a mine shaft and move on with their lives, I suppose. And just as they are about to kind of, celebrate graduating and everything, having a big party to celebrate, they start getting some strange messages and texts from somebody who clearly, they think it's another joke, but it's actually a killer who is viciously hunting them down for their past discretions. Right. What are my thoughts on Sorority Row? Well, I'd never seen this one before. This is one that's been recommended to me by a number of people, actually, because I've been reviewing quite a few slashers recently on the channel. And what I've actually thought to do, because I've been kind of looking at like slashers from the noughties and that kind of stuff, and there were so many. There's been so many like horror remakes of the last, I don't know, especially in the noughties and stuff. I thought I might do like a series of like horror remake reviews, if you like, because you've got this, you've got Black Christmas, you've got My Bloody Valentine. There's just so many. Prom Night. There's a lot of them, to be fair. So I thought, well, while I'm kind of in the mood to watch these slasher films, I'll kind of maybe, do a bit of a theme with them. But anyway, Sorority Row, what are my thoughts on this one? Well, as slashers go, this is, what you expect. Now, I think one of the things that this one has going for it that maybe some of them others don't is that this is rated 18, well, it certainly is in the UK anyway, rated 18. So therefore, they've gone for a much more violent and graphic approach. There was a lot of these that they went for the PG-13 route, like the teeny horror thing, which from my perspective are just an absolute waste of time, generally speaking. I can't think of many of those that have actually nailed it in regards to, giving us a really impressive, scary film. Now, I'm not here to say that this is an impressive, scary film, because I don't think it is. But the best thing it does have going for it is the violence and the graphic kills. They are fairly over the top, I suppose. You've seen far more graphic and far more violent kills in films like this, but they're also fairly satisfying as well. And I'll tell you why. Not one of these characters in this film, not one of these sorority sisters in this film did I give an absolute toss about. They were all nasty biatches, in my opinion. They were horrible. Even the one who was supposed to be the final girl, to be fair, kind of deserved what were coming to her as well, to be honest. She didn't, even though she protests at the time when this accident takes place and one of their sorority sisters is killed and she wants to kind of go at the police and blah blah blah, she didn't fight that hard, you know what I mean? So not one of them did I really care about. I was actually looking forward to seeing many of them get what, in my opinion, they deserved. In a lot of ways, what they did was vile, more so than I Know What You Did Last Summer. You could argue they had what was coming to them as well for what they did, but that was a genuine accident. This wasn't. It was just a stupid prank that absolutely went sideways. I mean, to be honest as well, that didn't make a lot of sense to me, that whole prank, you know. And if you don't know, the prank basically is that a sorority sister wants to get back at her boyfriend who she thinks has cheated on her. So they kind of make out she overdoses, and then as they're driving her to the hospital with the boyfriend, you know, beside himself, she dies in the car. That's what they claim. So they go out to this like mine shaft place, you know, quarry, and you know they keep the prank going. You know, they lay her on the floor. The boyfriend is beside himself, thinks she's dead, and then as they're all looking for things to chop her up with, as they say, he finds a tide iron and basically starts chopping her up and kills her. So I mean, it's a ridiculous prank at the end of the day, because, well, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, really, does it? You know, she was lying there pretending to be dead. I think she would have probably noticed, or, you know, maybe just a little peek out of her eye that someone's about to shove a tide iron in her. But it's a movie, I get it. So I was genuinely looking forward to them getting it, especially, I think it was Rumer Willis, who is, yes, the daughter of Bruce and Demi Moore. Bruce Willis and Demi Moore. Plays Ellie, who is the biggest bitch you've ever seen in one of these films. You know, like Cruel Intentions type bitch. I mean, she was really awful. Literally, you know, I almost felt like jumping up and cheering when some of these were getting, you know, taken out by this killer. So it's entertaining and fun in that way, in my opinion, this film. It does its job in that sense, you know, the kills, you know, how they line it up, you know, the big party, the killer's on the loose, wearing one of them gowns that everybody else is wearing at the party, so it's hard to pin down who it is. Panic, all this kind of stuff is going off. All kind of happens mainly in one night, so you know, it's fast paced and stuff when everything starts going off. So it's all really quite watchable for the most part. Carrie Fisher, I forgot to mention, is in this as well. We all love Carrie Fisher dearly, and she's sorely missed. She plays like the woman that looks after the sorority sisters in this house that they all live in. You know, she mothers them all and looks after them. She plays that part and does it quite well. But there's no getting away from it. For me, there was a tinge of disappointment with this, because it didn't really do a great deal to get you to care about the characters. I don't feel it did anyway. The killer reveal at the end was, for me, desperately disappointing. Now, I don't know, because I've not seen the original in 1982. Maybe you guys watching this could probably tell me, maybe. It was this kind of like a direct remake? You know, was the prank the same? Was the killer reveal the same? Because if it was, my goodness, you think they would have tried to do something a little bit more creative with the killer. Because I thought the killer reveal in this was ridiculous and made absolutely zero sense to me. But that's just me. But, you know, it's a fun, above average slasher film that kind of gives you what you expect it to give you on the tin. You know, you're going into a slasher film, you want, you know, some over the top graphic kills. You know, you want you ideally want people you can root for, which this film doesn't really give you, but it does give you a lot of people that you're looking forward to getting sliced and diced. That's one thing it has going for it. So yeah, I didn't dislike this film, that's for sure. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. I do, like I say, I'm going to do some more horror remake reviews in the next coming weeks, stroke months. Give me some suggestions of horror remakes. They don't have to be just slashers, I suppose, but any kind of horror remake that you can think of from about the year 2000 onwards, you know, that kind of stuff. And I will, if I haven't already reviewed it on the channel, I will definitely give it some consideration. So thanks for joining me for this review, guys. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.